Hi there, in today's video I'm talking about B12 levels. I've seen lots of talk out there in the social media of late about B12 issues and specifically how the B12 issue relates to the vegan diet. Now, yes, it's true that there is a vast amount of B12 available in animal products, and by cutting animal products out of the vegan diet you depriving yourself of that source of B12. But let's cut to the chase. B12 is something that synthesizes naturally in the human body anyway. And how do the animals get their B12? By eating plant products and synthesizing the B12 within their own bodies. Now, within America alone, 8% of the American population suffers from diagnosed low B12 levels. What does this mean? That if you take into account that 8% of the American population has got diagnosed low B12 levels and 1% of the American population are vegans, there's no ways that the B12 issue is a vegan issue. What's more accurate is the case that the B12 that is coming in by way of animal products is also to a large extent, especially when you talk about the beef industry, coming in by way of the fact that the animals are injected with B12 and therefore their B12 levels go through the roof shortly before they get sent from the feedlots off to the slaughterhouses. So that's one way that the Americans are getting their B12 levels jacked up. But now at the same time, to be clinically diagnosed with a low B12 level in the USA requires a serum level of under 180. If you happen to be living in Japan, you get diagnosed with a chronically low B12 level if your serum level is under 500. So diagnosis varies from country to country. Very importantly is that the biggest cause of B12 deficiency isn't not being able to get B12 in your diet as far as the meat eaters are concerned. It is that your small intestine's inability to be able to absorb the B12. So it doesn't matter whether or not you are consuming your B12 through meat products, which I don't suggest anyway, but your low B12s is in all likelihood as a result of an absorption issue, because that is by far the most common cause of B12 issues. The funny thing is that if you go into your doctor's office and you mention the fact that you're a vegan, the first thing he does is test for B12. If you go into your doctor's office and say you're a meat eater, but you're suffering from lethargy, fatigue, all of the symptoms of low B12 levels, they'll test for all sorts of other things, and eventually, if everything else tests negative, they'll then come back and say, oh wait, maybe we must have a look at B12. So, getting back to basics, B12 is not a vegan issue. B12 is a general populace issue. And the biggest cause of B12 problems is absorption. What I strongly suggest that everybody does, that is especially for all of us in the vegan lifestyle that wants to be kept up to date and keeping ourselves as healthy, as fit as possible. I'm posting a link in the description down below to a superb book called Could It Be B12? Check it out, seriously, because by upping your B12 level, it'll help your body to metabolize fat better, it'll boost your blood hemoglobin levels, it'll help to boost your iron levels, it'll just help your brain to be so much sharper, so much more on the go. So seriously, check out the book, and please don't buy into the myth that B12 is a vegan issue and the only way to be able to get around it is to go back to your meat eating ways, because seriously, it's really easy to be able to get your B12 supplemented, and it is far cheaper getting your B12 supplemented than spending $100,000 on a triple bypass because of arterial sclerosis from all of the animal fats you've been shoving into your system by eating meat and dairy. That's my take on the B12 issue. Seriously, check out the book, check out the clinical studies, and make your own decision. That's it for this time. Please remember to click the like and share button down below, and remember to subscribe to my channel. That way you can be kept up to date on new videos as I post them on a week-to-week basis. See you next time. Cheers.